When we opened Can in Philadelphia, I lived with him at the Barclay Hotel where the cast was somewhere else. The apartment was painted beforehand. In came master paintings, his linen, his silver, everything. I had never seen this before. It's really an extraordinary life. And we had a room that were going together. How do you call this? Adjacent rooms. And I lived really the life of Riley with him. Loved it.
We wanted to do a show based upon Toulouse-Lautrec.
And we said, now, gee, it would be wonderful if we could do a show about Paris which didn't have any song in it about Paris. And he said, okay, I'm sure we can do that.
The story goes that after he saw me in Los Angeles auditioning, half an hour later, he had written I Love Paris.
He said, I've been very naughty. And he sat down at the piano, and he started to play I Love Paris.
I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris.
He starts it as a dirge, as a minor, in this minor mode. I think it was an extraordinarily interesting choice. I don't think I would have done that.
Yet the whole last part suddenly is a major, and it's like the sun suddenly came out.
I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why, oh, why do I love Paris? Because my love is near.
Anyone can do a can. It is so easy to do. Cole said that he couldn't write a verse for that song. He couldn't think of one. The next day, my partner came into rehearsal and handed Cole a little piece of music on which were written some musical notes. And Cole loved it, immediately put it onto the song, and the next day a piano arrived at our office with a note from Cole saying, keep writing. The day after the opening of Can, he invited us over to the Waldorf to have lunch and meet Linda for the first time. And she was in a wheelchair, and we were all at the table together. And she had in front of him a notice. Maybe it was the New York Times notice.
Not up to Cole Porter's usual standard. He said, that's what I've been receiving now for the last God knows how many years.
I love the looks of you, the lure of you. I'd love to make a tour of you.
He loved the idea that in Silk Stockings, he could write a song about an agent, an actor's agent. And so he wrote All of You. And of course, the joke of the song, of the lyric is, I want percent of all of you.
I'd love to gain complete control of you and handle even the heart and soul of you. So love at least a small percent of me do. For I love all of you.
I met Cole Porter through Morse Hart. And Morse said to me one day, what would you like for Christmas? And I said, Cole Porter. I'd like Cole Porter as a client for Christmas. That's what I would like.
In California, when you sat out by the pool, about every 15 minutes, Paul would come out with a mechanical spray gadget, and he would spray the insects, which always interrupted the conversation while he did a little spray job and went back in the house. Cole was very well protected against the vicissitudes of nature.
He led a completely insulated life as far as we're concerned.
Oh, when we're sent to deal
in Silk Stockings, he wanted a song called Siberia, in which they would rationalize.
Maybe it isn't too bad after all, huh?
There's no humidity. Plenty of winter sports.
We go to Cole and we say, we've got a great idea, and we tell it to him. And he said, well, that's no good. We said, well, why not? He said, well, Siberia is beautiful. I said, what do you mean by Siberia being beautiful? He said, well, when Linda, that was his wife, Linda and I had one of the greatest experiences we've ever had. We were the guests of the Grand Duke, one of the Grand Dukes of Russia, and we went to his estate in Siberia. And it was the most magnificent experience we've ever had. It's absolutely beautiful. And he goes on about the animals and the forests. And so, wait a minute, Cole. To the average man on the street, Siberia's a coal mine. Well, what do you mean? Well, it is. The average man, when you say Siberia, it's like being sent off to an exile to jail. And Siberia is not good. So he said, well, if you say so.
When we're sent to dear Siberia, to Siberia, there's a most delicious bill of fare. You must try our filet of polar bear. When we meet in...
He lived like a Maharaja, as you know. He loved that life, but he also was able to deal with adversity, the pain of the leg and Linda's death, Kate's death, I guess, and I saw him survive all that very well until the last years of his life.
You know, he used to have little dinners when there were just one or two people. And he had generally two people because toward the end he didn't really talk much. So the other two people entertained him by gossiping with each other and telling him everything that, you know, was going on.
You would be asked politely by somebody or indicated to go into another room and look at pictures or talk or do something, while he would be carried into the dining room, and when he was safely put into his chair at the head of the table, you'd be told to come on in.
And then when it was time to go to the theater, a short, powerfully built man came up and slung him over his shoulder like a sack of meal, took him to the theater and plunked him in a seat, and then reversed the process after the play.
His loneliness was enforced, I think, by the degree to which he couldn't be at his best anymore after a certain point, and he could only dare to see old friends who would have the sympathy to understand what he had become from that which he had been.
For you and I have a guardian angel on high, with nothing to do.
I'm not saying that Linda made Cole Porter, but she was the wind that made the sails of a boat move.
When his leg was amputated in '58, his creative powers also were ended at the same time. The surgery cut off whatever incentive, whatever desire he had to write songs.
At the end, Cole got very, very depressed about it and very sorry for himself, really. It's terrible to say that.
I said, Coley, please, try to remember, isn't there somebody that you would regret not seeing again? I think that I was really asking him to think about me. Won't you regret not seeing me again? No. No, nothing. Then there was a 30-second pause. I couldn't try again. And he opened his eyes and he said, wait a minute. There is something. I said, what, Cole, what? He said, my pair of Queen Anne chairs.
And when he died in the hospital, and I don't believe any member of his family or any close friends were there at all. According to this young man, he sort of died alone. He may have had a manservant there with him, but it's a sad thing to think of. You'd think he would have gone off and flown away in gossamer wings, and it wasn't that way at all.
He was so
far removed during the heights of his career, and then when he had completed his tasks on Earth, why, he came home to rest.
When a party was over, or dinner was over, he never went around the room saying good night. He never said good night to the hostess. He just disappeared. He didn't want to put a damper on the party.
This is quite the nicest night. You fill my memory with delight. Well, did you ever? What a swell party this is.
There's so much more to never stop. We want to tell the world that you're the top. Well, did you ever? What a swell party this is. So the story continues on. It's never over, it's never gone. Another season, the same old road. Another opening of a
You're the top. You're the Colosseum. You're the top. You're the Louvre Museum. You're a melody from a symphony by Strauss. You're a Bendel bonnet, a Shakespeare sonnet. You're Mickey Mouse. You're the Nile. You're the Tower of Pisa. You're the smile on the Mona Lisa. I'm a worthless check, a total wreck, a flop. But if, baby, I'm the bottom, you're the top. You're the top. You're Mahatma Gandhi. You're the top. You're Napoleon Brandy. You're the purple light of a summer night in Spain. You're the National Gallery, your garbled salary, your cellophane. You're sublime. You're a turkey dinner. You're the time of the Derby winner. I'm a toy balloon that's fated soon to pop. But if, baby, I'm the boss,